Floozy hit a slender lead. It's Floozy just in front. Scat very late. Floozy's won the silk stocking.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop, episode 401, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Today we'll preview our big squad of runners at Eagle Farm this Saturday. Tony, good morning, welcome back. We'll just look back at last Saturday. Obviously a really good progressive win by our 2-year-old 10-gun Tommy, and promising daggers there, bookending the card for us there last weekend.
Yeah, good morning, Matty. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be back. Yeah, 2 very progressive horses last week. We've seen daggers just progress all through the carnival. I think this is a really good time for him now. As you can see, he's still learning how to race and learning what it's all about. But I've got no doubt in my mind, come the summer, he's the real deal for a summer carnival horse. Mm-hmm. He's definitely going to go to that next level. So he'll run again, hopefully, in this off season. Then we'll put him away for the summer. 10-gun Tommy, he's been great. You know, Paul Nugent and his wife are, giving us these horses to train the 10-guns. We're very appreciative. And to be able to put 3 on end with him, he's a very progressive horse. He'll have a nice rest now, where he comes back and gets set for a Magic Means Guineas preparation. He's definitely the right horse for that style of racing. So 2 nice progressive horses as we build onto a big team this weekend and a big team next Wednesday to finish the season off. Mm-hmm.
And just before we get into our preview, this week we have the latest promotion from the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. The prize is a $200 voucher for the Apron restaurant at the Pullman Brisbane Airport. To enter, head over to our Facebook page, look for this week's post of the Final Gallop, follow the link and enter your details, and we will announce the winner on next week's show. And we'll get straight into the preview of our runners at Eagle Farm this Saturday. The rail is in the 1 metre position. Track is currently a soft 5. We've got some pretty foggy, gloomy conditions here this morning, but forecast for otherwise sunny days ahead. How do you think that track will play with the rail going back into the 1 metre there?
I think it'll play pretty standard. You're right about the foggy conditions today. This reminds me of being back in Toronto. It's fog today. This is up the hill. But but normally you get these foggy mornings. You get an absolute cracking day. I think that's what we'll get. I think we'll get a really good surface. I think it'll play like it normally does. I think they'll probably be able to race down near rail, but I mean, in the straight, you want to be coming off that fence. I'd be shocked if it's anything other than that. Before we start, I want to wish Scotty, our farrier, a happy birthday. I'm not going to give his age away. You can all guess off his socials. But happy birthday, mate. You're a big part of the team. We certainly appreciate having you here.
Happy birthday, Scotty. Enjoy it, mate. We'll get stuck into race 2. It is a Class 3 plate over 1,805 metres. We'll have Felix a Scat in this race. We'll carry 57 kilos after Leah Martin's 3 kilo claim and drawn barrier 1. Early odds at Ladbrokes are $3.10 for the win, $1.45 for the place. He sat handy last weekend and was strong to the line for a 5th over the mile. Rising trip suits on the week back up, but he's deep into his preparation now and he gets in so well at these plate conditions.
Yeah, I think he's well in. That's why we run him. I mean, the option was to go do him again 2000. I think he likes Eagle Farm. I like him at Eagle Farm when this rail's low too, because they get room in the straight. They're going to be coming off fence. They're going to get room. So he's a horse that, look, I don't think he hates racing underneath horses, but he doesn't love tight racing underneath horses. What are you doing? Show pony? Underneath horses. So I think as they start to spread in the straight, he's going to get enough galloping room. It'll suit him. I think Eagle Farm 1800 is ideal, and he's well back in grade. It was a sit sprint last week which didn't suit him the tempo, but I think he's if he can handle the 7-day backup, which I think he will, I think that this is the right race for him. And Leah's claim gets him in beautifully.
Very well. We'll move on to race 3. It is a benchmark 70 handicap over 1,000 metres. We'll have 3 runners, or up to 3 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Acappella's Son. Will carry 59 kilos after Chelsea Baker's 3 kilo claim. Drawn barrier 5. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $12 for the win, $3 for the place. She's first up for her campaign after a couple of nice trials. Yet to win first up, but she's been trialling up really well. Maps well behind a good tempo, and she'll certainly be running on well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the key to it. I didn't know whether we go 1,200 or 1,000. We sort of started 1,000 with the last time we first got her, and it augured her in for a really good prep, you know. So we saw her when she's at 12 and 1,400 or 12 and 1,350. That's her right sort of distance, and that's where we're going to be aiming to go. But I think Eagle Farm 1,000, they're going to run along at a nice enough gallop here. As long as she gets into a good rhythm off speed, she can be strong down the centre of the track, and that's, I believe that the winners will come off fence, and you want strong horses late in races, and she fits that picture.
The second horse we'll preview is Arisphere. Will carry 58 kilos after Leah Martin's 3 kilo claim and drawn barrier 3. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $11 for the win, $2.90 for the place. It was a tough run on speed last start and just faded late at the same track and trip. Gets in well with Leah's claim and gets a good draw to make amends.
Yeah, uncharacteristically disappointing the other day. I thought she had too much work in running, however. It just was a really messy race. There was a lot of speed in it and they sort of found their spot and they just generated pressure, which didn't suit her. She's normally a very consistent mare. She's really well going into this. And look, if we can execute the race well, she can be a big improver of what we've seen.
The third runner we'll touch on is Speedy 1. Will carry 60 kilos with Emily Lang on board and drawn barrier 8. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $23 for the win, $4.60 for the place. 1-2 start to go at Bow Desert, then caught in that on-speed battle from a wide gate last start and just punctured late. It is a little bit tricky from the draw there.
I think we'll leave him. He looks messy again off that draw. I won't you know, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll do that. We'll leave him. We've got other options for him. He could be nice for back in grade. There's a few options for him over the next fortnight. So he'll stay at home, tucked away in his nice box at the Gold Coast.
We'll move on to race 4. It is a cutest 3-year-old handicap over 1,000 metres. We'll have 3 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Esha, a new addition to the stable. Will carry 60 kilos with Benny Thompson on board and drawn barrier 1. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $3.10 for the win, $1.50 for the place. As I mentioned, first up run for our stable and she beautifully bred mare, come up from down south from Kiora. Lovely trial last week just to top her off. Benny's been riding her in the trials. Does have to carry the weight, but she's a classy little filly.
Yeah, the weight's my only concern, but I think at 1,000, you overthink weight too much. She's not a big filly, but she's a quality filly. We rode her with a nice bit of cover the other day, and she trialled well. She's worked like that since. Ben's rode her in the trials. He's rode her in track work Tuesday. She's going particularly well. She's improved significantly off the Gold Coast trial. She's the one to beat. She looks to get a lovely run on the back of a couple of sharp horses. If she can do that and peel off and show the quality she's got, I don't think the 60 won't bother her. She's in good nick, and I'm certainly happy to have her in my yard.
The second horse we'll preview is Hand in Hand. Will carry 55.5 kilos. Daniel Moore on board and drawn barrier 9. Early odds at Ladbrokes are $81 for the win, $12 for the place. She'll be much better off from her first up run in Australia last start. Just got smashed out of the gates and was just never met from the 1,000 metre start there. She's a French bred filly that's trialled well prior to that. We'll look for an improved showing here.
Yeah, it looks tough from the draw for me with her, but she's going bloody well. She's going a lot better than what we saw first up, where she got hammered, as you know, in a really busy, big field race at the Sunshine Coast. We may see her start on Sunday, and if we do, she'll be very well placed there.
The third runner we'll preview is Before Anyone Else. Will carry 53.5 kilos. Emily Lang on board and drawn barrier 3. Early odds at Ladbrokes are $27 for the win, $4.50 for the place. She's second up on Saturday after a good run first up over 800 metres, which was just short of her trip on a soft 7. She's 2 from 2 when second up and a nice low draw with a nice lightweight for her.
Yeah, I think, make no mistake, that 2 from 2 is pretty important. She's in good nick. She's found the wrong part of the track at Kilcoy. She was down where they couldn't win. She's actually run quite well. She's a lot better off that run. Keen to be here. We're going to get a lovely run. We'll be somewhere on speed, I'd imagine, around about where Esha is. There's a couple of speedy ones. She just tucked in behind them as well, and she'll present in good order. She's better than what the price indicates in what's a strong 3-year-old race, but Esha clearly on top for mine.
Yep. We'll move on to race 5. It is a benchmark 78 handicap over 2,200 metres. We'll have Chillaxing in this race. We'll carry 58 kilos. Daniel Moore stays on board and drawn barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $4.20 for the win, $1.75 for the place. Strong win last start over 2,000 at Doomben, finishing as strong as anything in the race. We'll certainly enjoy the 2,200 metres, and he's just going really well this preparation.
Well, I think that's the key to him, isn't it, Matt? Like, getting back up to the trip. If anything, the 2,000 with 2,500 running home back to 2,000. I know he doesn't meet the horse he beat the other day. He meets it worse at the weights. But I think the rise to 2,200 is really important for my bloke. Going to get that soft run again. It's all about barriers and runs in transit for him. Daniel Moore and him are getting a really good association together, and he's definitely getting the best out of the horse. And I think that's the same again here. I'm happy to say that we can handle the weight disparity. I think he's very hard to beat.
Move on to race 6. It is a benchmark 80 handicap over 1,600 metres. We'll have Livalittle in this race. We'll carry 54.5 kilos with Leah Martin's 3 kilo claim. Drawn barrier 10 here. Early odds at Ladbrokes are $8 for the win, $2.45 for the place. It was a super run first up. for a second over 1200 3 weeks ago, which we knew would be short of his best trip. Steps up to the mile here, going well, and just gets in really well with Leah's 3 kilo claim there.
Yeah, drops in the weight, goes up in trip. We had him in the 7 as well. I think going to the mile was probably always my preference distance-wise, so I'm more than happy to be in this race. Obviously the wide draw, probably we're going to have to go back a little bit, I'd imagine, off that and just settle in and then run on. But he's well above average, this horse. I've got no doubt he's at this grade or better. I think he's one of our better chances on the card. He's a good horse, this horse.
The next race we'll preview is race 7. It is a 3 and 4 year old handicap over 1400 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is State Opera. Will carry 54 kilos. Daniel Moore on board, unfortunately drawn barrier 15. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $10 for the win, $3.30 for the place. A gallant effort for a 5th. Last start in the Group 3 Winx Guineas. Maybe just sat a little bit too close to the lead. She'll need a bit of luck from the gate, but Daniel's riding in really good form, and hopefully he can offset that with her.
Yeah, well, she's a difficult horse. She's not easy. She just flew the leads for CJ the other day and didn't want to be there, but she was stuck there, no cover, and she's boxed on really, really well in a good race. This is back in grade. I think the key to her here, back in trip, back in grade, is just to switch her back off from the barrier like we did first up and run on. She drew, I think, 9 of 10 or 9 of 11 first start back 1301. So I'm happy with her. She's freshened up nice. She's a handful of a horse. But if we can get her to relax in the pre-yard and do everything right pre-race and just get her to come out the gates, go back that second half of the field and switch down, she's going to really come with the big bounds late. And I think by this stage of the day, that pattern will be quite clear, be coming down the centre. It'll suit her.
The second horse we'll preview is Lockyer, our little friend behind us here. Will carry 52 kilos. Benny Thompson on board and drawn barrier 6. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $7 for the win, $2.60 for the place. He's improved with each run this preparation. Last start motored home to miss just by over a length at Dooman over the 1350. Should enjoy getting back to Eagle Farm, a nice big track for him.
Absolutely. Like, he was very unlucky the other day. If you watch the replay, yeah, it's hard to say maybe he beats the winner, but the winner got that suck run up through them and he's had to come out, never got any clear room till late, and he stormed to the line. There wouldn't be a horse looking any better than him in the yard at the moment. He looks absolute pitcher. Big track 1400 is what he wants, and I think he's way over the odds. Really good chance.
Can you split the two? They're both reasonable. Yep.
Lockyer.
Lovely. Yep. We'll move on to race 8. It is the open handicap over 1400 metres. We'll have Castillian in this race. We'll carry 54.5 kilos. Daniel Moore on board and drawn barrier 7. Early odds at Ladbrokes are $18 for the win, $4.40 for the place. It was just a victim of the tempo last start at Ipswich in the eyeliner. Had a nice stick over trial last week just to keep him up to the mark for this race, but looks to set up nicely for him.
Yeah, he's improved out of sight. The trial was good for him. Dan got a feel of him. He'll race 4 to the speed here up on pace and he'll quicken off it. I think there's just these winter tracks with still a little bit of cut in the ground will be ideal for him. And he can run really well. He's in good order, this horse. He's a big improvement what we saw in the eyeliner. That was a total mess of a race, about 100 mile an hour. We've had time to recover him from that, taking him back to the trials, bringing him back to the races in lesser grade. Even though this is still a good race, you can see some reasonable horses still lingering around.
Yeah.
This is always the case after Carnival. There's still those horses lingering about for other races, but he's in good nick, this horse. He'll run better than his price.
And we'll move on to race 9. It is the benchmark 85 handicap over 1200 metres. We'll have up to 3 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Hell. Will carry 59.5 kilos after Jai Williams' 2 kilo claim. Drawn barrier 7. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $7.50 for the win, $2.60 for the place. Proven first up performer, coming off a couple of nice trials where we've just been teaching him to settle, and has been certainly improving with every trial. Gets him well with the 2 kilos off. How do you think it sets up for him?
Yeah, well, I think there's nothing underneath him that's as quick as him anyway, so he'll cross those, it'll just matter what happens from wider draws. But he'll either be there or just there. He'll either lead them or he'll take a trail. I think we'll try and teach him to race a little bit, control his gallop a little bit more and finish off. And I think you look at his trials, they're very good doing that. He's quite a receptive horse. He's in great order. He's very fit for his first up run. I think he starts off in his right distance, 1200, and Jai's ridden him in the past. So I think he'll be happy with the horse he's going to ride, and he's in for a good prep in this off-season racing. This is a good kick-off point with the claim. He gets in well at the weights. He's a really good each-way chance in a very deep race.
The second horse we'll preview is Giggles. Will carry 58 kilos after Leah Martin's 3 kilo claim. Unfortunately drawn barrier 17. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $13 for the win, $3.80 for the place. Unfortunately just can't draw a gate at the moment. Does enjoy this track and trip, but will be tough from drawn out there.
Yeah, the barrier makes it a bit trickier, even though I do think they will race off fence by this stage of the day. I want to have a look at what we think about her. We do have an option next week for her. She's in good nick. I'm playing around with the gear change with the tongue tiner, which she's had on in the past. But she's in good shape, this horse. So just see whether we go this week or next week with her.
And the third horse we'll preview is Bossed Up. Will carry 59.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board and drawn barrier 16. Early odds at Ladbrokes are $5.50 for the win, $2.15 for the place. Unfortunately, drawn it a little bit sticky as well, but been racing well. Hasn't been far. Both starts this preparation. It should enjoy this off-season time as well, and hopefully he can overcome the gate. But by this stage of the day, it might be beneficial to be wider than lower.
I think it's too good a race for him not to run. And look at Maloney. He's on holidays next week. He's riding like a man possessed to get a bit of holiday money. He rode brilliantly yesterday. So I'll back Ryan to handle the barrier with this horse. He's pretty versatile. I mean, he can be there or there. Yeah, you just got to try and get in the right sort of groove for the race, which will break up as we get closer to it. But definitely the right race for him. He's going very, very good, the horse. Eagle Farm 1200 is where he needs to be. So he will run, and I'm sure he's going to run well. We just got to work out how we navigate that barrier, but we've got all day till the last to work that out.
Yeah. Out of the three, obviously a question mark on Giggles.
I think Bossed Up, just as he's up and about, race
Yes.
fit. Hell will start the prep off well, and he's in for a good prep.
Beautiful. Now, Tony, we are into the final furlong of the Final Gallop. Who is the stable's best winning chance at Eagle Farm on Saturday?
I think Esha. I think she's going to get that right run. She's a quality horse off a low draw. I think she can go on to better races. So even with the 60, I think Esha's my best.
And Tony, your best each way chance for Saturday at Eagle Farm?
Well, I tossed up between a couple. I could have easily went Livalittle, but I'm going to go Lockyer. I think both would run really good each way races and could easily both win. So I'm going to go this bloke here. He's such a handsome boy, isn't he? So why don't we go him? I think Lockyer, if you watch his runs, he's building towards this type of race. I think he's spot on.
Beautiful. And just at the provincials over the weekend, possibly have a few out at Ipswich tomorrow, Gold Coast Saturday and Sunny Coast Sunday. Anything for the punters to follow at the provincials?
We've got a few good chances. I think, like, listen, Jani, she's in tomorrow, maybe Sunday. I think she's pretty hard to beat out there in the maiden. I think at the Gold Coast on the weekend, Rough Claws with the blinkers on, it's going to run really well where we run him. And also, I think Graham, he's flying.
Yes, yeah.
He's got 2 wins, now will win the dead heat. He's up and about. And then Sunday we've got quite a good, small but good team at the Sunny Coast as well. If Hand in Hand goes there, I think it's the right race for her, obviously. And Star Lightning, he goes there. He's improved nicely off that maiden win. So we've got good chances all weekend at the provincials. Not massive numbers at each place, but certainly good quality, yeah.
And just at track work this week, obviously always a busy morning on Tuesday, and then we had a few head out to Deagon for the jump outs as well. Anything that caught your eye particularly on Tuesday morning in track work?
I couldn't be more pleased with how Esha's going. I think we've been trying to do something a bit different with her, talking with the team at Cure, just to get her to come in behind horses and settle. I think she's going really, really well. Livalittle's been going well all prep. He's just progressed on lovely from his first up run, and don't be queried about the mile with him, and Lockie's going great. So team's in good order. Castillian's improved out of sight off the eyeliner now. He's really back where he needs to be as well. So jump out wise out there, pretty good. There's a couple of new horses to the stable. We'll see running this couple of weeks. I'm not going to drop them out my mouth just at this point in time, but you'll see a couple of new horses step out. They've come from other yards. I think will be very well placed in low grade races over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
A little Pembury stepping out as well.
Pembury was brilliant.
Yeah.
She was just having a nice little 600 metre jump out. Just to bring her on. She'll trial out there in 2 weeks as she heads down to Sydney for a nice spring campaign.
Very exciting. And now it is time for Cavs Corner for this week, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Unfortunately missed his first leg last week with Rising Pacific to play, so sure enough his second leg was nearly a lock there, and Dagger's duly saluted there. So let's see what Cavs got for the punters this week for his multi.
Welcome to Cavs Corner. One leg again last week, Rising Pacific let me down bad. This week, Travel Eagle Farm. We'll go Esha a win, into Livalittle a place. Good punting, guys.
So Tony, he has gone Esha a win, into Livalittle a place.
That's why I couldn't have Livalittle as my best each way, because it could totally ruin his special wins, which I think she will. So, very tricky. But he's been in good form, Cav, when I've been away. I mean, there's a few grunts and groans out of him when he's up here, but I mean, his tipping's been really good. He's got his up and about too, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly reminds us.
He's right up and about. He's been reminding a few punters too at the race who've been giving him a bit of a sledge, that he's there. So he's in a bit of form, Cav. He's finishing the season off very strongly.
Let's see if he can keep that form up. Look, Tony, a big team of runners there on Saturday at Eagle Farm. Our second last Metro meeting of the racing season. Hopefully we can keep the winning momentum going and tick off a couple more before the season ends there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope we can too. So everyone, enjoy your racing on Saturday. I know it's off-season racing here, but I quite enjoy off-season racing, and hopefully we can finish this season off strongly.
Good luck, punters. Cheers.